laisse tourner
Hein
en salle d'info. Allez!
I've been riding the foil with carbon for quite a while now and still absolutely love it. But over the past few months, I've been thinking that there might be room for something more. Something less stressful, something less precious, more raw, more real. Something you can just throw in a car, go to the lake and let your friends try it without overthinking it. That's the thing with carbon fiber. Carbon fiber, it's an amazing material, it's light, it's strong, but if you hit the board on a rock, on a dock, it just breaks. And that's basically how the idea of the Origin started.
And the reason we called it the Origin is because the very first foil wood prototype I ever built was actually made of wood. So in a way, this board kind of brings the project back to where it all started.
And weirdly enough, I actually started loving the whole vibe of the wood version. It just feels more raw, more simple, more relaxed. The carbon one still feels high performance for sure, but this one just makes me want to ride. And I think it's important because in the foiling world today, everything becomes way more technical, more pricey, super intimidating. It took me months to get into foiling because I didn't know what to take. Everything was just too complicated. So I wanted something that felt simple, that looked simple, but that feels great. I mean, the most important is to have fun on the water. The whole point of this board wasn't to replace the carbon one or to make a cheap version. The carbon one is still the premium version, lighter, more reactive, more control, more high performance overall, but not everybody needs that. A lot of people just want the feeling. They want to experience the feeling of flying over the water, which is exactly the reason why we foil. I think that's what I really like about this version. It feels approachable. You're less scared to use it, less scared to let people even try it, less scared to scratch it or just enjoy the session. It almost feels more real in a way. And at the same time, we also started working on a foil that really matched the whole vision behind this project. Because finding a foil that pumps well, glides well and turns nicely without costing an absolute fortune is honestly not that easy anymore. So what we tried to accomplish with this foil is balance. We looked at a lot of foils on the market that are amazing for pumping from different companies, and we tried to mix all of them into one foil. Something that would glide well, that would not be too exhausting to pump, but still has a nice lift, quite a high aspect for the size of the wing, that turns nicely without spending a fortune. We designed a foil that feels amazing and that feels very natural to ride. The front wing is 1900 square centimeters with a pretty high aspect ratio, so you still get that super efficient glide and pumping efficiency. But at the same time, we shortened the fuselage a little bit compared to a lot of traditional pump setups, which makes the foil feel playful, more alive, easier to pump and easier to turn, which is quite a challenge when you have a big front wing. And the cool thing is, it's not only made for foil scoot riding. You can also use it on a normal pump foil board. So if one day you want to remove the handlebar and ride it more traditionally, you already have a setup that works for both worlds. And that was really important to me. I didn't want people to buy a foil that works for one thing. I actually wanted people to progress with it, which is, I think, pretty important. And what I love with this setup is that it doesn't feel scary. It's not like this ultimate foil machine that scares you after 5 minutes because you almost get the foil in your ribs. There's no crazy sharp edges on the sides compared to some of the foils out there. Of course, a foil still has to be sharp, otherwise it would not work. That's hydrodynamics. But we made it as safe as possible and with the best glide possible. And of course, combined with the foil scoot, you have the perfect combination for a safe toy on the water. You just want to keep flying, keep pumping, and of course, improve over time. And obviously keeping the price accessible was also important for us because foil sports are becoming insanely expensive, and I really didn't want this project to become something only a few people can enjoy. Because at the end of the day, these products are made to get people into foiling. And I know the price can sometimes be really dissuasive. We focus on getting people on the water and experience that feeling. Seeing someone for the first time flying over the water, their reaction is just priceless. This is why I teach all the time. This is why I make people try the foil scoot. People that would never expect to have that feeling for flying, they can actually try it, experience it. If it would be on a regular pump foil, then they would probably give up after a while, unless you're extremely motivated. I really think the Origin and this foil setup are going to help more people to get into foiling, not because it magically makes everything easy, but because it makes the whole experience feel less intimidating from the start. I think that's important. So yeah, that's the foil scoot Origin. More real, more raw, more relaxed. and I'm super excited to introduce it to you guys. To find all the info, you can always visit foilswood.com. It's on stock. You can order it as a package, not just the top, but also with the foil. You can also follow us on our socials, and I wish you guys a wonderful time on the water. Ciao!